Become a part of the Kingdom Visionary community on legacyglobal.tv. Visualize yourself a successful business person, confident, prosperous, a leader in your field. It's all possible with the right tools, support, and community. LegacyGlobal.tv is the virtual hub of the Kingdom Visionary community. Disciples on a mission to fulfill the Great Commission through entrepreneurial enterprises. Join us every day on LegacyGlobal.tv, where we connect you with Christ-focused content and a community dedicated to help you advance both professionally and personally. But we do have other people in the studio in the incubator on tonight. Welcome everyone to another Marketplace Mondays. I am your host, your visionary strategist, Geralda Larkins, and I tell you, I'm so excited to be interviewing and hosting the woman of God that is here in the incubator with us, Miss Kenasha Paul.
Yay!
All right, I think I hear more than one person clapping this time. But all month long, we are interviewing and speaking to professionals in the marketplace. They are actually doing this 9-to-5 thing, y'all, and, carrying so many other hats as well in ministry and in business. So I'm grateful that she is here on today. This is Kenasha Paul, President and CEO of the Black Professionals Network, a nonprofit organization with the mission to serve emerging Black professionals to become industry leaders for the communities and organizations they serve. She is a proud Miamian of Haitian descent. She also attended my alma mater, Florida International University. Yes, with a bachelor's in political science, a minor in international relations and English. She has her Juris Doctorate degree from Nova Southeastern University.
Go, girl.
I know. Concentrating in business and nonprofit management, she established the inaugural Black Professional Summit in 2014. She's young, y'all, and she did that in 2014. It's an annual conference coming up in September. She'll tell you more about it. It convenes South Florida's best and brightest for leadership and professional development. She's also a stakeholder in the Miami Millennial Investment Firm, encouraging young professionals to invest and revitalize urban communities. What else doesn't she do? One more thing. She also co-manages a boutique business development firm called Dorsey and Greenwood, which helps startups develop and fine-tune their business models. Can y'all give it up for Kenasha Paul?
Yeah.
You do all of that. Anything you want to say that I didn't tell the world about you?
Sleep. Currently I don't sleep enough.
Well, thank you so much for being here. Well, Kenasha, we're here interviewing, talking about just professionals in the marketplace. You are definitely one. Tell us about some of your professional endeavors and maybe a little bit about the Black Professionals Network as well.
All right. Hi, everyone. So for me, Black Professionals Summit came first. I was in my last year of law school, and I realized that the way that us as professionals, we were able, professionals is color. Like, no matter, we have reached this high status of earning our Juris Doctorate or getting our med school or accounting or whatever degree it was, but for us to achieve professional success, we were missing either, the social capital that a lot of other non-people of color had.
Right.
And then, so for me, I wanted to be able to solve that problem. And I thought, especially in South Florida, where I saw it was challenging for us, and then we had a lot of, brain drain, like your best and brightest would leave to go to other cities, other states, and I wanted to be able to kind of like keep some of that talent here by fostering a social atmosphere where they can learn best practices for their profession and professional development, as well as meet other like-minded professionals that can help them get to the next place that they want to go.
Yeah.
And so that conference is kind of how it emerged, and it's been great. Like we've been, I was surprised. Like it first started off as this baby project, and it took a life of its own, like most things.
Super successful.
And then now we have like over like 200 people who attend.
Nice.
Last year we had Nona Jones from Facebook was our keynote, and we've had a lot of prominent people in South Florida serve as speakers. And so just excited for what this year is gonna hold. We're already in that planning crazy phase of it, and then after that, once the summit was born, I just wanted for us to do more. I'm a very much impact oriented person,
yes.
So I love for things to be a little bit more surface, like much not surface level. I wanted to go deep, yeah. And so I love what we were doing with the conference, but I knew that the work that we needed had to be year round.
Come on.
And so like mid last year, told the team like, we really need to create the Black Professionals Network, build out what we have with the summit, and foster programs that are really going to get professionals not only to get ahead but stay ahead, and then find those missing areas that I think people don't realize are the root causes that are from institutional racism. And it's like
I'm just like I'm like, how old is this woman of God? I feel like I should be back in school. This is so crazy. It's like you're such an inspiration to your millennial base, and it's like now I even see your current events that you got going on, the Battle of the Sexes. It was like I'm like, Chris, I'm telling my husband, babe, look at this. This like, I don't think we would fit in that. No,
it was so much fun. It was so much fun. We have a promo video about to drop today.
Okay.
So it was a lot of
fun.
Tell me,
it's already happened.
Yeah, it was. So it was happening Saturday at the Craftsman.
Okay, tell me about that.
So for me, it's like, okay, so the network has about 3 ways of how we wanted to create synergy within our professionals. So we have programs like Call the Shots that help professionals who want to transition to entrepreneurship.
Wow.
Increase that focuses on financial literacy. 40 Acres that's focused on housing. And then we have and then West Wing that focus on politics. And that's just like to name a few.
That is so awesome. So in order to join the organ, is there any requirements to join the network? I mean, how do people get more information?
So yeah, they can just go to mybpnetwork.org and they'll get the information, and then and then they'll see that not only they'll sign a membership fee, and then they'll get access to all our programming workshops, and then be able to go to our special events like that was Battle of the Sexes. So that was able for people to network in a more different way. So for us, we look at what we call like our networking reform, and it just gives you like fun, laid-back ways to create fellowship, to create dialogue that is not the traditional mixer, which we do. We have one that's coming up on June 21st.
Okay.
And so, but like it was a lot of fun. You just see like the men and women get really into it. You see the video? It was so cute.
I can't wait. Well, the Kenasha that we see now, that's inspiring this generation of entrepreneurs and professionals, Juris Doctorate, like boutique business development firm, millennial investment firm, so you're investing in real estate in our urban communities. How did you get to be this person? I mean, in your journey to becoming who you are today, and I know it's still a journey for all of us, what has been your journey like to get to where you are today?
I think for me, my journey has always been a lot about exploration, and also very knowledge based. So it's like since I was a kid, I was like in the history bee. I'm a left-right brain thinker in the sense that I was a magnet student for TV production, but then I also was like AP for history. So I did so I was split between history and tech. Yeah. And so because of that, it's almost like I saw Wakanda before Wakanda. Like I saw that world of like mixing history and then and how you add technology and how as a community we can move forward. So for me as a kid, I think I've always just balanced those two worlds of just being really passionate about history and how people got
the past and the future.
Yeah, seeing how it repeats and what lessons we learn from that, what lessons we keep forgetting, and then what ways how you can add innovation and advancement to help you improve on those lessons. And so a lot of those, but it seems like it was like smooth, but a lot of it was like me resistant to my own journey. And so I always tell people that it's it looks better than what it is, because I don't have like these traumatic stories of like for my journey, or I don't process them as traumatic. I feel like the most for me it was that not getting out of my own way.
Right.
Like I feel like for me,
you being your biggest obstacle
yeah.
to what you're seeing. Like, I want to do this, but can I do it? You're processing your own.
But it's more of like processing, not my capability. So I've always been confident in my abilities,
Right.
but not knowing if that's the sacrifice that I wanted to take.
Come on. Do I really want to do this? Like, how much is this going to cost? How much time is going to be?
It's like, what am I gonna lose if I do this? Like, it's like, what relationships I gotta cut? Like, it's just like, used to be like, I was
that sacrifice.
Yeah, so I was thinking a lot of always sometimes about the sacrifice of things. Of just like, okay, where do I want the attention? Like, do I need it? It's like my ego's fine without it. Just like I'm like, so I kind of like moved in that realm. And I think for a lot of the guy was kind of like always pushing me. Like, I feel like he placed me in a lot of places where I didn't even know I wanted to be.
Come on.
So it's like, if someone had asked me, like, I think about even how I went into law school. Like, I feel like that was like a stumbling thing. He was like, I just need you to get this done. Like, okay. And I was like, all right.
And I'm good at it, so it's like,
And I was like, and what else? And he was just like, nah, just this. Like, just do this, and then we'll
it
figure
seems
it
like
out.
you're just so laid back in the process. It's like, that is not easy for people to just flow in whatever it is that God is leading them to. And how important it is that for you to just be able to flow and be at one with the force that's pulling you as God is leading you to your purpose.
I think the reason why it was easier for me to flow, because I'm so stubborn about other areas in my life that I
Tell the world, preach to the world, Kenasha. What?
So I think for me, I had no choice.
Yeah.
Because I saw what my stubbornness did in other areas. So I felt like this is not something that I should take a risk on.
Yeah.
So I was just like, all right. So
That's wisdom, though. That's wisdom.
But my dad did tell me, like, early on, we always pray for wisdom. So that was like one of my earlier prayers with kids. It's like, pray for wisdom. I was like, yeah, that would make sense.
So you grew up in a family of faith.
I did.
And you grew up in the church.
Yes, I did.
PK kid. I kind of scour your face because you're always dropping nuggets. Okay, and I want to read this quote that you posted. It was just hitting me in the gut. It says, "You will never always be motivated. You have to learn to be disciplined."
It's true.
Discipline is the refining by fire by which talent becomes ability. Y'all see the scripture merger in that? But you don't really even see Jesus in that. So can you kind of just deep dive that for the audience? Because that was so profound.
Oh, it's probably my dad would be so proud, because my dad, since I was a kid, was always telling us discipline. It's like, you don't have enough.
That's that Haitian father.
Yeah,
That's important.
Yeah, I was just like, and he used to push at me all the time. And I look back, I was like, oh my gosh, I wish I listened to him a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
And even though people think that I have like reached like a certain, like, for where I'm at my age, I'm like, dang, I could have been way earlier if I just listened. But no, I'm a firm believer that honestly, motivation, as we know, is like, it's a fleeting feeling. Like one day you're gonna get up and want to work out and want to sit there and do all this, and the next day you're not. You're gonna want to feel like eating healthy, you're not. Or you're gonna want to sit there and go out for that promotion, but you're not. Like, and so you have to really push yourself to be in that space that the goal is bigger than yourself.
Yes.
And that, so therefore you have to realize that it's going to require steps, it's going to require sacrifice, and you have to condition yourself to kind of be in that space to go for it regardless.
Right.
And it's not easy. People are like, oh, how do you stay motivated? I'm like, I'm not really staying motivated. I just realized that my goal is bigger. My goal, people rely on me to accomplish this goal.
Yes, it's
like,
bigger than
it's
you.
bigger than
It's
me.
bigger than you.
So it's like I don't accomplish it and I'm not living my purpose, then why? It's like I'm here for no reason. And therefore I think that's why you'll have a lot of people feel discouraged, because like they're not realizing, they're not tapped into that goal, that discipline, and then they'll see like how it manifests in other ways.
The refining by fire stood out to me. You know,
Yeah.
I'm a pastor, so that stuck to me, because like that refining by fire, as you're doing that, you're working toward that goal, the working, the doing.
Because it hurts.
It hurts, right? Talk to me about your pain points in building the network, or building even your career, building your life.
The pain points as most people, is just kind of like the pace of things. Like sometimes you want to see the goal faster than it's ready for it to be ready. You know, like you're sitting there thinking like, oh, okay, I'll get this done by 2 months, and then the goal's like, nah, I'm really a 4-month goal.
Yeah,
calm that down. And then you're impatient.
You're impatient, and you don't see the results that you really want to see in the forefront. So how do you deal with that?
I'm still working through that myself, because it's like I love what I do with the network, and it's a labor of love. Like everyone knows that working in our community, you're going to get people who immediately see the value and see the purpose, and then you're going to have a lot more people who are going to be late to the party, right? Who are going to recognize that, oh yeah, this was a cool thing, when it's like 4 years in, and then it's like, oh yeah, and I'm like, oh, okay. But I always tell people, like, I accept people where they are in their journey, and like what time you get to the destination is okay. But it's still like, as a human, it's still hard sometimes to like always embrace that. But usually those are like my main points. It's like time. Like I feel like time has always been like a thorn of of how I feel about like certain things. I'm just like, oh, I should have done it during this time. I should have had it accomplished. And I just
looking back.
But now I look back and I just was like, I think me being always focused on trying to be more centered. I think it's always made me realize that, you know, everything happens in its own God-given time, and just to be like okay with the pace of things. You're gonna be frustrated, of course, but then having a sense of gratefulness of what has already accomplished puts things in perspective.
That's really, really profound, and it's so important. The Bible does tell us to just be thankful in all things. Just be thankful, and the reason for that, of just constantly putting your mind thanking God for what He's already done, kind of keeps you from wishing what could have been and focusing on what could have been. So you don't be professing Jesus all out there like that, and you don't. Real talk. We're in the marketplace, so you can't just walk up to somebody and lay hands on them, even though you grew up in seeing that. So how does your faith permeate your interactions with people, or even your decision-making process every day?
Well, I think because I was very fortunate to have a father who raised me. Dad. I'm gonna show him later. I think it was very I was very grateful for him to kind of like raise us with a more intellectual way of handling Christianity, and so because of that, he allowed us to be more, you know, questioning, and be able to recognize that God and Jesus is. We have to be thankful for the gifts. Like my father knew early on that I had like gifts, and he was just like, be grateful that the gifts that God gave you. You gotta be humble, and then you have to, but then understand that you have a higher purpose. And so I think because of that, I think it allowed me not to have to be like a tambourine type of Christian. But I understand tambourine. Wait.
No, that's true.
No, but
let's found on that.
Yo, what is a tambourine?
No, because there's some people who have to like you said, like every waking breath of the moment, they gotta tell you like about like they like every quote, every status ends in Jesus, and it's not saying that there's nothing wrong. I always tell people I appreciate and respect.
You do say that. You like, just do you.
Do you. Yes. I always tell people, it's like, do you. Just don't stop me from doing it. Exactly. So it's like, but I think it gave me I think especially in this generation where sometimes people are feeling disconnected by God and disconnected by church. I think the way that I go about my faith and like in practicing and just like how I interact with people and try to create compromise or try to, you know, create a sense of peace. I think for people, they see that I walk with him. So it's not like so for me, in the way I live my life, it's like they understand like no one would question, like I feel like no one would question me as far as just like, oh, Kenasha doesn't believe. Like I feel like they understand that I do, and that I'm willing to have a conversation with you, but I'm not going to force it. I'm not going.
Right.
I'm going to respect wherever you are in your journey.
And I think that's what I see in this generation, these millennials. Like I was born right where I could have been not a millennial and I feel so like disconnected from. I'm like, y'all speak a different language sometimes, and if I even try to speak y'all language, y'all look at me like you so wrong for that. Like why would you even talk like that? So that being said. When you see, it's so important. Like I see the need for authenticity to like be who you are and not necessarily make me who you are, but just be it and be an example. Talk about some of the examples that you've had, in your journey to be who you are that has caused you to be more confident in being Kenasha. Biggest inspiration, like outside, like in real. I don't know. Like she stopped me there. I feel like I'm inspired by a lot of things. Yes.
I'm always I'm a student always.
Yeah,
I think for
you're
me,
a learner.
Yeah, so I'm always absorbing information, always processing, and I think because of that, I feel like life itself is almost an inspiration. Not to be kind of like cheesy, but that's what sometimes it feels that way.
It feels that way.
No,
yeah.
but I also think because me observing people and how they interact and understanding history. I think history has always been like the biggest inspiration for me,
right.
especially like Black history.
Yes. And if y'all study Kenasha, y'all know she's very passionate about Black history.
I'm just like guys, like no, or else even American history, understanding that relationship. And I think because of that, it made me realize that we only have one life. Like we owe it to ourselves to always show up like our best self. And that has nothing, and I understand as a person of color, as a woman, that is going to come with challenges and come with obstacles, but those obstacles should not be hindrance to you being who you need to be.
Come on.
It's just we're all gonna struggle. We're gonna struggle, and we're gonna struggle differently.
Yeah.
But we can still reach a destination if we understand the tools that we have to gather. And so when I look at history, I always just look at like how people have knew, okay, this is a person that I should partner with. This is an ally I should have had, or this is the resources that I needed. And I feel like I always process those things.
Yeah.
History, and also like this is gonna be like really where I'm gonna be a nerd. Comics. I'm really into like X-Men.
She's getting the faces, y'all. Everybody's like, really?
I was like, I know everyone's always just like,
I love X-Men. Now that's my genre,
X-Men,
right?
DC, Marvel, like all of those.
What you know about that? Yes.
Those is like so, but they teach. There's a lot of like lessons that overlap with that. And I always tell people that comics, the Bible, history, Greek mythology, they all give you an example that we learn differently. Because if you realize the lessons are almost the same. Yeah. It's just how you have to but you may be your way of learning or processing it might come better. You might digest it better through watching it this way versus watching it that way. And so I think because of that, it just made me realize it's like there's no one way to do this, so you just might as well do it your way.
She is like you could just sit and just listen to Kenasha talk all night, right? She will drop you some deep nuggets. So what words of encouragement would you give to another professional out there in the marketplace? You're an entrepreneur as well as a 9-to-5er that's feeling that call to do something more, like create an organization, write a book, start a business. What are you applying in your life? What words of encouragement would you share with them?
Well, I would always say first, and when I have friends who kind of want to make that leap, really identify your reasons why you want to do it. Don't start a business because it's the thing to do. Like everyone wants to. It
seems like everyone wants to do it.
Everyone's not meant to be an entrepreneur, and I tell people.
Why do you say that?
No, because it's like there's certain skill sets and certain things that you need to have in order to do it. And I think a lot of times what people are realizing is that it's not like you really don't want. You don't really want to. Some people really don't want to be an entrepreneur. You want a better work culture. Yeah. And I think if you found a better work culture, you would have no problem helping someone else cultivate a shared vision.
Right.
Because I think that the misconception with entrepreneurship is that, especially there's this quote I hate that people always say, like when they're like, oh, you're going to work all these hours to help someone else's goal and not your goal. And I'm just like, well, Jesus had 12 disciples, okay? Yeah. That was a shared goal. Yeah. So what if they all decided to do their own thing? Yeah. Like, then it's like you wouldn't get the ministry shared the way that it was. Yes. And so I feel like people need to realize that it's just, you just got to find the right leader and then cultivate that team. Yes. And because it's like, my team knows it's like, they're not following me, like they're following the vision. The mission. Yes. And so my team doesn't feel like they're working for me. Right. So I think for them, they realize that we have this us together is going to make it go further. Right. And so we should do it like I think like when people try to separate too much and with this whole like it's us versus this, and it's like you're pulling talent and resources, and then you're not realizing together actually achieves more. And that's what BP's mission is. Exactly,
and you can find your purpose to that shared vision. Like if you're a great artist or a great creative thinker, you bring that skill set to that shared vision. You can be just as fulfilled, than starting your own organization and deal with the nuances that come with managing an entity and starting it from scratch.
Exactly, and I always tell people also that if you think about it, like Microsoft, okay, Bill Gates owns only 10% of Microsoft. He's still a billionaire, and so are the top other people in his career are billionaires too. It's a team, so it's like you can share the wealth, you can reach success together. Definitely. It doesn't have to be done solo.
Yeah, great nuggets. Okay, last question. Of course, the Kingdom Essential. Everyone that comes here, I always ask them for the Kingdom Essential that they live by to help them to be stable and to just stay established and centered, as your word. Okay, so what Kingdom Essential do you apply for yourself?
For me, as has always been, seek peace and pursue it. So that's Psalm 34:14. Yes. I'm a person that just loves to be balanced and try to take the left and right side and try to create harmony with it.
Oh my gosh. Seek peace. Pursue it. It's worth pursuing. Yeah. It's worth pursuing. All right. Well, y'all have heard it from Kenasha Paul. Kenasha, can you tell them how to get in contact with you and all the things that you're connected to?
Yes, you can follow me on. Everything is Kenasha, Kenasha, and then for BP Network, Black Professionals Network is My BP Network on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, and our website is mybpnetwork.org.
Okay, great. And if you're a startup and you're interested in working with Kenasha, you see she has a whole bunch of knowledge, whole bunch of experience with helping to build out startups and developing their structures. How do they get in contact with you for Dorsey and Greenwood?
Yes, so they can reach out to me at Kenasha@dorseyandgreenwood.com. Okay. So they can reach out to me at that email account. And I'm trying to think, and applications for the summit. Our 2018 Black Professional Summit is September 29th. Applications are available now, and they're due June 29th.
Applications for what?
To be a workshop presenter. So
presenters.
So we have slots for people to either host topics on professional and personal development. So we only have limited slots, but workshop applications are available. You can go to bpsummit.org to apply.
Awesome. So don't miss out on this, guys. Y'all connect with Kenasha Paul, the Black Professionals Network. It's an awesome organization that will just offset and just kind of catapult, I think, your professional, bandwidth and connecting with other professionals in your space. So connect with her. And we will see y'all next week for another episode of Marketplace Mondays. Another professional will be in this seat. I think it's Paul. I think it's Paul Dumars. Yeah, he's going to be here. A CFO, you know? Yeah. Paul Dumars, awesome man of God. He'll be here, CFO of Penn Dutch Foods, and he'll be dropping some nuggets as well. Thank you, Kenasha.
No, thank you.
All right, y'all. Good night. See y'all next week.